Yeah, he's like, "Can you save $10,000 by the first of the year?" And the first of the year was, so I had 7 months to save $8,000.
Did you make it?
I did.
How much did you make? I think you saved more than $10,000 though.
It was like 10,000 and a couple hundred.
Whoa, that's a great
I was
story.
cutting it close. I remember I was cutting it really close, and I didn't have 10,000 yet, but it was like almost the first of the year. And I don't know if you remember, but I think I asked you if I could work more because I was like, Patta, I really want to be able to do this. And then
What did you do? You asked me for more hour, or you borrow my money?
no, it was waitressing. I made a lot in tips. I did really good in tips one night, and it pushed me over.
Hi, welcome to Patta Empires. My name is Patta. I'm the immigrant, a restaurant owner, a mother, wife, and the Empress. I didn't always feel this way. I was so lost in the past. This podcast will show you how I built and continue to build my empires. If you ever feel lost but you know you're meant for more, I'm here to show you the outlook and skill for you to build your own empires. Hello, welcome to Patta Empires. And today, you probably hear this name all the time, Miss Kayce.
Hello.
Wait, how do you say your name again?
Kayce?
What is your last name?
Stinette.
So, this girl seemed to be my favorite person that I will talk about her name. Her name would come on my podcast all the time. So, Kayce, how old are you?
I'm 20.
You're real 20?
Yes, I'm really
Okay.
20.
So Kayce is 20 years old, and how much you have on your bank account?
25,000.
That's crazy. 20 years old, 25,000 on her bank account, and she's on process of buying a house. And guess what? She way better than me when I was in her age. That's crazy. Like, Kayce, I mean, Kayce is my successful story. I always talk about that because she's very successful of her age. Is 20 years old. You know, it doesn't matter how much on her bank account, or it doesn't matter like if she's in process to buy a house, but this is 20 years old, and I remember when I was 20 years old, I was party. All I do when I was 20, all I do is go to school in the morning, go to work at night, and then party and repeat. But for her, this is super great. But let's talk about who you are before you met me.
Okay, so who I was before I met Patta,
When did we meet?
so we met, what was it? Me and Kendra just talked about it. We met in 2018. I had just dropped out of high school. It was my sophomore year of high school, and I had dropped out and I became a preschool teacher, and that's how I met Patta. She had brought in her two amazing, beautiful kids, Janine and Jonang, to the daycare, and her oldest, Janine, was in my class. And she put up a post-it note saying that she needed a babysitter for after daycare.
And because she was so broke and need money, she has no passions about being the babysitter or school teacher.
Well, I love working with kids and everything, but it was the after work, then that was me time. So whatever I wanted to do when I was that age is what I did after work.
So what have you done?
I was really into drinking. That was my biggest issue, was drinking and smoking a lot. But it was just like an every night thing. So, after I got off, it was a daycare, so I got off around like 5, 6, and then stayed out until at least 2.
And call up work?
I did call out of work a lot, but we were very short-staffed, so they never fired me.
That's how she survived at work. That's how people at the coast survive.
Yep. No one can replace you.
So, when are you like? I know we met, and I know that I honestly like the same way. Like the only reasons, like I hate when she washed my kid.
I remember.
So bad. But like I need somebody to help. But I know that she's not a bad person. Like that one thing that I know that this girl's had something. It was like she seemed to be nice. She would every time when I asked her to do something, she would do it for me. But she's weird. And I was like, what's wrong with this kid? But basically same thing, like I don't have anyone to watch my kid. Like her first day she would come get my kids and then she would wrap up and take my kid for all day, and I was like, what happened? And then the second day and then the third day, like, Kayce, where are you going? I was like, we going to the lake. Come back. I was like, Kayce, come back.
I remember that day.
Never take my kids to the lake.
I was Miss Kayce. I had to do something fun activities.
No, but she really like very entertaining my kids. She would have a lot of activity for the kids. She would like making cake pop, like do all kind of stuff with the kids. So like I mean I'm a mother that if I'm with the kids, I can create a lot of those, but I could do work. So I would pay somebody like her that would create a lot of activities for my kids, and she would take care of the kids. But what is your like? What have changed you?
What changed me?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I gotta give you a lot of the credit. You're very honest with me,
I
and that's
bully her until become great.
yes. She bullied me until I got my shit figured out. Cause honestly, that's what I needed. Is like I just like, ah.
But you're a kid that grow up with bully.
Yeah. So like around 17 is like. So, like, when I dropped out of high school, it was because I didn't want to listen to the teachers. Like, I could do the work. I wasn't dumb. I just did not want to listen to them. It, like, agitated me to the point, like, I had to, like, leave the classroom because I just was so, like, upset about it.
Upset
And,
about what?
like, teachers, like, trying to tell me, like, what to do, how to do something. Like, I just didn't like that. It's, and,
But I tell you what to do and
no,
how to do too.
that's what I'm saying because usually I hate that from anyone, but it was just different from you because when you told me to do something and if I ever like questioned it or gave you a hard time, you always gave me like an explanation and you always talked. Like you're honest.
But you always have a hard time asking me questions too. So basically, like Kayce, because like I was so confused, like what's wrong with this kid, to the point that she seemed to be like she's a night kid, like she's a night kid. She's like seemed to be smart. The day that her brain was working in the right way, I would fire perfect Kayce. And the day that she was like hangover or whatever, I was like, I want to kick you out from the house, seriously. And it's just like, can you be consistent? Or like, so it's like the whole time while I figure out my own shit on the business part, like Kayce is always there. I start a relationship with her just the fact that I don't have anyone, I don't have any better option. She's not gonna hurt my kids, but and then she's not gonna make my kids sad, and she would do everything that my kid would want. And she would just like she would basically allow my kid to bully hers.
Hey, you don't gotta tell them that part.
Basic like saying that it's just like this kid, like there's got to be something. So when I start to realize, okay, this person is great, like back like deeply in her heart she's a nice person, but what's wrong with her? And then we start to meet a lot, like we start to go through a lot of things. Like she basically see people come and go, she basically see every single people problem that I have, and she always see everything that's going on in my life. I doesn't matter how much how hard time I have in the business, like she's always there. Also Jamie's her mom. And like what I always talk like about this when they will swing watching my kid. And from I opened the day that I met her until this year, her and her mom never have an opportunity to take vacation at the same time, because I have to be in the kitchen, open the restaurant. We can't afford to close the door, and then she's be here for me. But no, 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 no. Like, what is the story? What should we talk about that? Like, it's not just me changing you, it's about you changing yourself.
Well, like, so like working with you, like the 3.5 years I have is like everyone that I would, like, associate myself with either didn't really seem to care about what I did or would just give me, like, bad advice, like, "Let's go
So
party, let's go do
basically, like the
this."
friend that she has before is no longer be her friend anymore.
Oh, yes, I have a whole new friend group since when I first started working. I have none of the same friends anymore.
I I get to her in the personal level, like what was the personal thing, like, okay, so this is a story. There was a day, like there was like she basically started to get rid of the friend one at a time, and I gets very personal. I usually don't get personal with people, but for Kayce it was like, Kayce, get rid of all your friends. And there was a day that, like, a year ago or maybe a little bit longer, she texts me in the middle of the night and, Patta, I don't know where I'm at. I came to my friend parties and it's so scary. And I was like, Kayce, leave. And then she was like, the minute that she started to leave, like, I don't know where I'm going. I'm so lost and stuff. And I was like, it's basically like 11:30 in at night that my kids halfway sleep. I was like, Kim, we have to go. So basically, like, I grabbed all my kids that halfway sleep in the car and drove from Seaside almost an hour away to find Kayce.
To be fair, the reason I was lost was because I was in the middle of the woods, and prior to that day, I had already gotten lost. And then, yeah, and that situation was so scary because I come back and it's dark, and then everyone's sitting around the fire, like drinking, and they invited some homeless people, which is fine to the party, but then they brought out like a bag of drugs, and I was like,
Exactly.
nope, I don't want to be here anymore. I changed my mind, but we were like deep in the woods, and I thought I was gonna get lost again.
And then I remember, like, I was like, she would find her way out from the road, and then she waiting for me in the gas station. And then she was like, the minute that I met her, she started shaking, and I was like, okay, I'll drive, have Kim drive your car back, and let's go home. And then the next day, I was like yelling at her. It was basically like, you better stop party. I was like talking about, like, get rid of all your friends that you have, stopping party, and if you can't find a good friend, then have no friends. And like there after that, then she started to like, there was a party that you like to go, the foam party. What is that?
Yes, it's called Foam Wonderland. They hold it in Eugene, Oregon.
Okay, tell people about that party first.
Okay, so Foam Wonderland, it's a outside festival concert that I love to go to them, but the one that they just had, and I haven't been to one in about 2 years because
Because
of
of the
COVID.
COVID.
And then recently, well, about a couple months ago, when Foam Wonderland came back, so I was like posting about it on Facebook, like, who's ready to go to Foam? And Patta comments on my post and said, "You're not going."
And she don't give up. She posts it, like she share all the posts. She do it every day, and I was like, "Will be the first comment. Your day off is not approved."
And I already bought the tickets too.
And it's just keep going and going and going. Every single post that she share, I would be like, your day off is not approved. Until it get to what happened.
Well, for the most part, I thought you were just being silly. I thought you were just playing with me, honestly. But then it got closer, like, it was like 2 weeks away, and you're like, Kayce, I'm being for real. You're not going. And I was like, dang. So I had to sell my ticket to my friend.
I'm just so worried that you don't usually don't make the right decision.
Not nowadays, usually I do. But see, back then, a lot of the times, I made a lot of bad decisions. Still, I make a lot of stupid decisions now, but not as much as I used to.
So I feel like COVID has changed you.
COVID?
Because they don't have a full Wonderland for a year.
Yeah, that's true.
So
COVID changed
honestly,
me.
like, what would be the, like, what do you learn from me the most?
Like the most? 'Cause I've learned a lot from you.
Okay,
But
3 things.
okay, the top first one is self-worth. You always like will tell me, Kayce, you need to be confident. Like you're a pretty girl. Like you need to be confident. You need to like be
And you're
upbeat.
pretty.
Yeah, but like like everyone has like their insecurities. So like everyone sees themselves different than other people's. But like just having that constant reminder kind of like helped me throughout the years of like, okay, I'm not that bad looking.
You're not.
um the second most important thing I would say is worth ethic, because back back when I was working at like a preschool and like for my whole life, I always had a job. Like I always made sure I was making money, but
That's
never could I work a 12-hour shift and be okay with it. Like 6 hours, yeah, 8 hours, okay, you're kind of pushing it. 12 hours, yeah, no, I'm leaving. But now I could work like 12, 14 hours, I think, solid.
I'm not making her work
No, you're
12
not.
minutes.
No, you're not. I'm just saying like I could
And
if
then what's the
needed.
third one?
Third one. I'm trying to pick. Like, how do I explain it? You like taught me how to like, like see the bigger picture, like see like the important things. So like, back
Okay.
making like a bunch of stupid decisions like drinking, drinking, I used it as like a coping thing, like I had stuff going on. I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I didn't care about anyone. And like you just like you always just give me like really good advice. And like I was telling Katie on the way here, like the only advice I truly take from people, I don't care about anyone else's opinion, I'll take it into consideration, but the only two peoples who I really really consider is you and my mom. It's the only two people I really listen to.
You scare me more or your mom more?
Oh, definitely my mom. Like you're scary, but my mom, she gets red and she gets like flame comes out of her ears. She's a different kind of pissed when she's pissed.
And
See,
your
Katie's
mom,
like,
your
yep.
mom gonna listen to this episode, right?
Oh, and my mom will know when I told her that I bought Coda, I've never seen her turn so red in about 10 years.
Aw. Anyways, at least now she like her. So,
She loves her now.
what is your best memory with my kids? What you like about my kids?
Your kids are funny, and
The
like,
Joust team, the Joust gangsters.
the Jow gangsters, yes. Your kids, like, I babysat a lot of kids, and you know that. But your kids are just different in the best way. Like, Janine, I can have the most meaningful conversation with him, and he's, like, passionate. Like, he's a funny guy. He reminds me of Kim a lot, like mini Kim, but he's also passionate. Like, you can sit there and have a conversation with him. And, like, Janung just reminds me so much of you. Like, when you make
You
faces,
mean like bitchy?
everything. Like, I'll look at you. I don't know if you could ever see me, but sometimes I'll be hardcore staring at you in the office because you make faces that look like Jonung. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is where this girl gets it from. She literally is just a clone of Patta. And then, yep, things she say too. And then it's just like,
Got it?
yep. Like, it's a mini version of you. And so I just like, it's like hanging out with like a mini version of you, like a kid version. So it's like fun. And then she's like, she's like me, she's girly, likes makeup. So like I get to relate with her a little bit. Jiao Jam. Jiao Jam was my little badass. Because, I was,
She grab your hair and then snap on the wall.
yes. She needs to learn how to defend herself. But Jiao Jam, I love all your kids equally, but I do favor Jiao Jam a little bit just because I think, I was there when she was first born, and she's just so funny. Like, she's feisty and funny. And then Jasua just reminds me of my mom. He's just so lovey-dovey.
Aw, that's so
But your
cute.
kids are just so sweet, and, like, they're, like, I can easily take all four of them out and, like, have a fun day. Like, take them to the indoor park because they listen,
And
and,
not lost my kids.
but I've never once lost your kids. I think we did a head count already. I think you have all four. Unless you had 5 and we just missed one.
So, I mean, like, there's a lot of time, how we go through like a lot of turnovers. How you feel about that?
Sorry, but can you define turnover?
Turnover when we have a lot of people come work for us and then leave or fire. And we just fire one today.
So, like,
And you one of the survivors.
yeah. It, like, I hate, like, I'm a very caring person. I love everybody. So I hate seeing people go. But when you let someone go, like, I always agree, like, with your decision, like, they just didn't make the cut, You like to have a very positive, upbeat restaurant, and that's totally, like, acceptable. Like, I agree. But, But, like, staying for so long, it's, like it's been, like, really, like, nice being able to, like, because when I first met you, you just had 1 restaurant, and now you had 2, and then you have
Now I have
3,
4.
and now you have 4, and you got the
2 more.
lighthouse in
The
progress, the
bar.
bar, yeah, and it's just, like, I just wanna see, like, how far, like, you like, what like, be in, like, 5 years, then 10 years. Like, I was talking to my mom. I actually didn't tell you this, so this is a real reaction from you. I was telling my
Oh.
mom the other day, like, "Man, I just keep, looking into, like, schooling and education, and I honestly don't know what to do because I just don't see myself working for anyone besides Patta. Like, I just can't see myself in the adult job, like, my next job,
This
like."
is adult job. Can't see what you're
No,
talking
no, I'm not saying that. I mean, like, when I say adult job, I mean, like, a lawyer or a doctor. Those kinds of people. But, like,
That's
I
how she freak me out every day.
no, this is definitely an adult job. But, I mean, like, going to school, because my mom always says, like, "Go to school, Kayce, get, like, a degree in something, blah, blah, blah." And, like, it's hard to, like, pick something that I wanna do because I'm like, "Oh, I just wanna work for Patta," like
Yeah, you can. I have a good conversations about you with Brian too. That he even said like she's gonna become a great like. So basically, right now, Casey is like my assistant. Like she would do everything I asked her to do, which like that not many people could work with me that close because when I set myself super high, I set somebody else so high too, and I would get annoying so much to the point that if I'm in the like I could be around people. I have to be around people that are happy all the time. But if somebody is like start to like doing something weird or thinking negative or asking the stupid questions or anything like that, I start to get annoying. And there are always something, right? I don't like people to be late. I don't like complaining. I don't like excuses and I don't like bullshit. And all of those things like she's so scared to make bullshit on me.
Yeah, like, sometimes they're like, "Why are you so quiet?" Because sometimes I just don't wanna say something stupid. Cause like, if I say, like, a stupid joke, Paddle will, like, look at me really, like, intense and be like,
No,
"Why
I'm
you make"
not that bad
you look
though.
at me so tense, like, "Why you make a stupid joke?"
No. Because you were trying to sexual harassment.
I didn't sexually harass anybody. I'm so nice in a non-sexual way to everybody.
And your dog was eating my guinea pig.
My dog did not eat my dog is 6 weeks old.
So I was like, Kim was having a baby guinea pig, and then he cat cow his guinea pig was like, I lost his guinea pig, and her dog was show up.
To be fair, I was holding my dog the whole time, and I didn't take my eyes off the dog, and my dog is barely old enough to actually eat, like, hard kibble food. She's eating, like,
So
soft food.
there was a part that you didn't work for me. There was a period of time. Tell them your story.
Okay, it was, like, in the beginning, the first year I started working for Patta,
Why you
I
quit?
honestly, I can't even remember. I think I was just having some, like, issues just with myself, and I just didn't wanna do it anymore. I was getting overwhelmed with, like, just work, and I just didn't wanna do it. But I changed my mind. And Patta said instead
After quit for 3 days.
Hmm?
And like you quit for 3 days.
Oh, yeah, and then I was like, "Patta, can I come back?"
And then I was like, nope, you got to learn your lesson. You won't be able to come back until 30 days. So I basically like you can't act like a kid around me. Like we can't just come like today I want to quit the job and then the next day I want to come back. And you're not 12 years old kid, you're 17, Like I was like, you go if you can wait for 30 days, then you can come back. If you cannot wait for 30 days, good for you. And then what is your 30-day process?
I did construction, which technically I still worked for you because you hired that construction company, and I came and moved every single table and bench from our Seaside
And
Pizza
I still
Hut.
feed her.
Yes, that was exhausting. Those were so heavy. It was like me and Tyler trying to pick it up, and Tyler's like, "You're not even trying." I'm like, "I'm trying with all my muscle. They're so heavy."
So she was spend her 30 days because she can't afford to not have a job, and then she would spend her 30 day with constructions, and then after 30 days she finally came back. And when she came back, it's like after that we never have any problem again. Like we not problem. Like she never think about quitting again for a long time to like beginning of this year's. And beginning of this year, she would come to me, and Kayce is a person like that. She always, like, you smart kids, you are beautiful, you have the value on yourself, and she always like listen to other people talking about her. And then there was a day that she probably so down, and she was like, I quit? She was like, I want to quit. And she come talk to me, and then I asked her to like, why do you want to quit? And it's get to the point that she want to quit because she didn't feel good about herself. And I was like, or somebody else that, around talking about her and stuff like that. I was like, great, you're not allowed to quit. You got to face this problem until you know how to deal with it. And you did it.
Yep, still here.
I think that last talk, I feel like she has changed. Like, it really doesn't matter what people talk about you, but you still care.
Not as much as I did, like, even just, like, 6 months ago. Like, like, now, like, when I first started working for you, other people's opinion meant everything to me.
That's dumb.
And now, really, if someone was to just come up to me and just say, like, "Oh, you're ugly," or something to me, honestly,
That's not your problem.
yeah, I honestly probably just wouldn't care. I'd be like, "Okay, I gotta go back to work, or I gotta go home, see my dog."
And there was a day that I was like asking her, like, Kayce, you want to come for a pizza party? And she was like, I'm very doubted. I was like, what your response?
Um, I said I was very upset today, and that
Oh,
I
you
just
say you was down today.
down. I remember, I can't remember what I said to you exactly, but I was just very upset that day.
Yes, and then the next day, what I have, like, first thing I was saying to her was like, no more day off. If I give you one day off and you are spend that day being sad, unhappy, and down, you don't deserve a day off.
I remember that. I thought that was kind of funny.
It's not funny. I was serious.
No, because it was just like, I don't even think anything really even happened that day. It was just like, I just like was overthinking every single thing that day. And then you invited me, and I was like, "Oh, I don't want to. I just don't even see anyone. I just want to stay inside and just have a me day." And then I was like, "Wow, I'm about to work 7 days a week because of it."
And then, what is your next year goal? What is your 1 year goal?
My 1 year goal, definitely to get the house, because I've been talking about buying a house since I've worked with you. This is like, buying a house has been like my number one
This
goal.
is one things that I always talk about. Listen to, like, if you own the business and if you try to build your team, and this is a good culture for you guys to like count into your company, is asking your employee what is their goal, like what do they want. Like Kayce was talking about, she's buying a house, she want to buy a house all the time. And like a great thing to ask, like, if I could make you do your goal come true, will you do whatever it takes? And she did. Like, she did whatever it takes. She did whatever it takes to be in this company, or try to be great at her job. And she gets so close, right? So you want to buy a house, and then what's the next thing you want to do?
In a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would still like to finish getting my GED, because I put that off for a very long time. But now you bought me a MacBook, so I can actually get it from
And
home.
you should start that soon. I buy your MacBook a year ago.
You bought me it on August 8th because it was my birthday present.
And then this is a great story to tell people about how you can save so much money.
What?
How come you can save so much money?
Because I make so much money. So when I was working at the daycare, little fun fact, teachers don't make little to anything. So working at the daycare, I made about $1,500 on a good day every month.
On the day that she's not called off.
Yes. And, at that time I also was drinking, so a lot of my expenses went to booze. And I also had like a truck. So I'd have like a $5 in my account, and then I would be like, well, I need some gas, and my truck took about $100 to fill up. So, but gas, they only take $1 out at a time. So I would
See,
fill up my truck,
you're very smart.
go to Dollar Tree and get some snacks, and then my account would be 0, but then in a week my account would be negative 100 because my account wasn't supposed to go negative. But thanks to the gas, I saved myself some money. But now, like, working with you through the years, like, I was just able, like, okay, like, this is my bills and this is how much I'm making each month. And then I got into a category of, like, how much I can spend, how much I can save. But when I first started saving, it was actually me and Kim were, like, just talking, and we made a bet. He's like, can you save 10,000 by the first of the year? And I was like, yes. And because I was just excited because I saved 2,000, because I was like, that's the most money I've ever had in my account. I was showing my mom, I was like, Mom, I got $2,000 in there.
And then Kim was betting you to like, let's save a $10,000.
Yeah, he's like, can you save $10,000 by the first of the year? And the first of the year was, so I had 7 months to save $8,000.
Did you make it?
I did.
How much did you make? I think you saved more than $10,000 though.
It was like 10,000 and a couple hundred.
Whoa, that's a great story.
I was cutting it close. I remember I was cutting it really close, and I didn't have 10,000 yet, but it was like almost the first of the year. And I don't know if you remember, but I think I asked you if I could work more because I was like, Patta, I really want to be able to do this. And then
what did you do? You asked me for more hour, or you borrowed my money?
No, it was waitressing. I made a lot in tips. I did really good in tips one night, and it pushed me over.
So she basically like works 7 days a week or more and babysits and do whatever to like save $10,000, and then she make it. Kayce, honestly, like, you should be proud of yourself though. You're way better than me and many people out there at the same age. Like, my life when I was 20 is still fucked up. I don't know why I could help you because like mine was way worse.
Well, you made mine way better, so...
Exactly. So like, you need to be proud of yourself. You need to be proud of who you are. You like, none of us sitting here, there was like 3, 4, 5 people that's sitting here, and no one in this room when we was 20 could have as much as you do, could achieve as many as you can. So you should be proud of yourself. Are you proud of yourself?
I am proud of myself.
So if somebody come to you and say like, Kayce, you a bitch, what you gonna do?
I'm a bigger bitch.
That's great. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Patta's Empires. I hope you find it beneficial. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out the next episodes. And stay in touch with Patta's Empire in other platforms. Don't forget, stay humble, stay hungry.